Cora, thanks for joining us. We often hear about birth alerts, but can you explain what they are and what they mean?
Well, a birth alert is something that is issued on a mother who is expecting a baby. And so this could happen earlier or sometime during the pregnancy. Typically, they're issued because a mother may have aged out of care, formerly been in care and aged out at 18, and then, years later or shortly after, because she was in the CFS system, they put a target on her baby in the form of a birth alert. If a mother has any children that are already in the child welfare system, typically any child she has after that will have a birth alert. And then any children or young people who are under the age of 18, particularly if they're under 14 in Manitoba, there's a protocol where they contact child welfare and a birth alert is potentially placed on that child. Birth alert is a notice. It goes to all of the agencies in our province, and it goes to all the healthcare providers, alerting them that if this mother has a child, that they are to contact child welfare with the potential of that newborn baby being apprehended at birth. So typically the apprehension will happen after the baby has been given the okay and discharged from the hospital, and an agency will show up to apprehend the baby. There are more birth alerts than there are newborn apprehension. Sometimes, dependent on the agencies here in Manitoba, they might take the time to look at the circumstances of the mother and potentially overturn that birth alert. But unfortunately, there's a lot of babies that are apprehended here in Manitoba each year.
Cora, how prevalent are birth alerts in Manitoba?
Well, I don't know the total number of birth alerts issued, but on average, Manitoba has close to 400 newborn apprehensions each year.
There's a whole section in the MMIWG final report on birth alerts. You're quoted in much of it. What is the impact on the family, both short-term and long-term?
Well, when you think about a baby that's apprehended from birth, there's prescribed timeframes for how long of a newborn baby should be away from a mother or a baby. And they talk about, usually the rule of thumb is if a baby is 1 month old, then they can be away from their mother for an hour. Babies 2 months old, they can be away for two hours. And babies aren't supposed to be removed from their family unit until they're over a year old. And so when you think about that time frame, and that's a prescribed time frame within the province of Manitoba under families, for people who are separating or in the process of a divorce. But for children in care, like these newborn babies, like I've known of babies that have been moved around to 3 different placements within the first 2 weeks of life. So you think about, and all these babies aren't going to loving foster homes where they're being nurtured and all their needs are being met. Some of these babies are going to shelters. So, that's devastating. And, there's lots of research that spells out that children can, at that age, suffer emotional memory. And so when you're newborn and you don't get the nurturing and love that you want, it also deprives our babies from the ability to be breastfed by their mother. And, that unconditional love that a mom has for a child, these children are ripped away. And then not only is it difficult on the baby, but our elders also say that the most violent act you can commit to a woman is to steal her child. And so you think about any mother out there and the experience of giving birth, there's lots of anticipation. But when you think about these moms who know there's a birth alert on their baby, it's like this impending doom that our mothers suffer during their pregnancy when they should be healthy and cared for and nurtured and that baby protected. So it's quite devastating for any mother.
Absolutely. Cora, we're going to have to leave it there, but thanks for coming in and speaking with us about this.
All right, thank you.